Alexis. Today we're going to be chatting about things you could do while you're in labor, right? And I've got my helper, Miss Amy. Can you say hi? Say hi. So today we're going to be talking about the 2 phases of labor and things that you can be doing. So these are going to be practical things that you can be doing to help you to feel more comfortable and also to pass the time. So I've got everything here ready so I don't miss anything. So I want to just talk to you about basically the first phase of labor is very, you feel very normal. There's not a whole lot going on. You don't feel like the intense pain that the active phase of labor brings. So during this time, I was really able to do a lot. I was able to play games, watch movie, do all these things and really feel comfortable. So I just want to give you a little backstory before I start going through some things that you can be doing during labor. And basically, I had an all-natural, unmedicated birth, and I went into labor at 36 weeks pregnant. So my water broke, and I went in with no contractions at all. My midwife wanted to put me on Pitocin, and I elected not to because I wanted to go as natural as possible. And good thing I did because she ended up needing to go into the NICU for TNT. What is it? TNTT? TNTT, that. And so, good thing I didn't because it really helped her to actually do better. So, let's go ahead and talk about the first phase of labor. So, during this time, the very first thing you want to try to do is sleep. Sleep, huh? Yeah. Hey, babe, can you come grab her? There you go.
Come here. We're happy now. Yes, we are.
So during the first phase of labor, you are going to want to sleep as much as you can. It is so important to get your sleep. This was something that I was not able to do because my contractions really progressed fast. I was shocked at how fast they went from not really feeling anything at all to being really intense. So if I could go back and I had time and I felt okay, I would have slept. But a tip for you, if you start feeling uncomfortable, just go ahead and get up and walk around. That's what I did, and it was the best thing that I did for my whole labor. I walked the whole almost 16 hours because it just felt so good on my back. I had a lot of back labor, so this was super helpful. So the second thing that you can be doing if you're laboring at home is prep your hospital bag. Get it all packed and ready. It's super fun and exciting to do this. I was in a rush, so I didn't know I was going into labor this early. Thank God I had a bag kind of packed, but getting everything together was chaos. So if you can, enjoy it, enjoy the process, and actually pack your bag. All right, so the third thing you'll be doing is watch a movie or a show. So my husband and I, once we got to the hospital, he tried to sleep for a little while. And then after that, I was just uncomfortable where I couldn't lay down and sleep. So we ended up watching a movie together. And we watched most of the movie. When contractions would come, obviously, I would just have to kind of, focus and breathe. But it was nothing that made me feel like I couldn't watch a movie. It was really nice to have that distraction. All right, so the fourth thing that I did was I played a lot of Sudokus. So I would suggest playing a game of some kind. I love Sudoku because it really helps with your mental, what are you looking for? Binky. I don't know where the binky is. So it just kind of helped me to focus when I was doing the Sudokus on the game and not focusing on contractions. So maybe just play some, brain games that can help you to focus on that rather than the contractions. All right, number 5 is pick out your birth announcement card. This was something I did. I thought it was so much fun. I was so excited to have her, and then all of a sudden I'm okay, I could just pick out her birth announcement card. This would be fun. And so I was just scrolling through tons of different card options, and obviously I didn't know she was going to be in the NICU, so I was planning on taking the picture in the hospital, and I had this whole thing planned out, but the template I ended up picking out worked perfectly. But this was just something fun that you can do. All right, so the next thing is text your friends and family. I'm sure you're gonna do this anyway, but pretty much from the moment my water broke, we texted my mom and his mom. And then from there, we kind of just started texting people like as the night went on. But it was really nice to like have conversation with some friends and family, because at this point, like, you really can think and you can be like, I felt normal. Like, I didn't feel like really uncomfortable just during a contraction. So that's what I would do, is I would like really try to reach out to your friends, you know, maybe your best friends there, and she can kind of go back and forth with you, but it's exciting. So share that news with everybody. All right, so the next thing is number 7, take a walk. So if I was laboring at home like I had planned on, I would have done a lot of walking. I mean, my husband and I paced all up and down the hospital room, which was like this tiny little space, for like almost 10 hours. And I just walked in little circles. So if you can walk, walking's amazing. It helps just to really refocus your mind. Like for me, it was just kind of like, okay, let me focus on going from point A to point B, and then breathe through my contraction and go from point A to point B. And just something about that was really helpful. All right, number 8 is, so practice relaxing through your contractions. If you did hypnobirthing or something like that, it's really important to kind of start practicing what it would be like when the contractions get a lot stronger. So at this time, I just kind of was learning how to breathe through the contractions, because I didn't even know what a contraction felt like, obviously being a first-time mom, until they started coming. So just really like breathing through those was really helpful for the second phase of labor. All right, so the next thing, number 9, this is kind of funny, eat a popsicle. So my midwife brought me a popsicle after I was checked. I think it was about like 8 or 9 hours in. And it was like the most amazing tasting thing in the world, because in the hospital, I couldn't drink anything. I could only have ice chips. So I wasn't IV fluid, so I didn't really notice that I was thirsty. But oh my gosh, having a popsicle and just the flavor was amazing. So just a little tip of advice. Definitely have a popsicle. Number 10 is you could try journaling. This is a really fun time to maybe journal some of what's been going on. Maybe write a letter to your baby. At this time, you definitely can do this. You would feel up to it. When you notice that you're getting into the active phase or the transition phase, you're not going to be able to focus on things like journaling and that kind of stuff. And the last thing that I would suggest you do is pray. Just simply pray. Ask God to just bless you and to be with you during this time. And that was something that I started doing pretty much when I got to the hospital, and just really focusing in. I like to like focus on something. So for me, I just kept picturing like a heart, like this big red heart, and just picturing God's love just in there surrounding me. And so this is just kind of a nice way to get your mind centered. So that is everything that you can be doing during the early phase of labor. So let's head into the active phase of labor. So at this time, active in transition is really intense. So you're going to really need to focus on your contractions and breathing through them, especially if you're going natural. Now, if you're getting an epidural, I've heard a lot of women say that you tend to feel like you do in early labor. So maybe you won't notice that you can't do as much, but for me, I definitely needed to focus. So the first thing that I did when active labor started, well, I should actually say my husband did, was put on music, like set the tone. I wish that I had a bigger playlist. I just was not ready to go into labor, so I didn't know I was going to need that big of a playlist, but just having several hours of really inspiring music that's going to motivate you, will help you to get through each contraction. Okay, so the next thing is walk some more. So walk. Like, I cannot tell you how much walking helped. Once I got to the transition phase, it was really hard for me to continue walking. And that's how I knew I was getting into transition, because as I was walking, I mean, I would have to stop almost immediately, breathe through a contraction, walk a little more. Like, I can remember I was like, guys, I think I have to go to the bathroom. And they're like, okay, go to the bathroom. And I'm like, and so like I start walking, and then I can't, and then walk, and then contraction. So it just kind of was like that. Number 3, birth ball. So it's funny, I thought I was gonna like the birth ball a lot more than I did. It definitely, I think, really helped her to move down. Like, it just kind of felt like it was really opening up my hips and helping her to move down. But as far as like the feeling good sensation, like, it didn't really feel that great. And it may just be because I had a lot of back labor and it was just putting a lot of pressure on my back, but maybe the birth ball will work for you. Number 4 is meditations and hypnobirthing. So I did listen to a couple hypnobirthing meditations before I gave birth, and I wish that I had listened to them during labor. Honestly, I just didn't think about it. It just like wasn't on my radar. But I think it would have been really helpful during that transition phase to just help me to focus on the moment versus focusing on like the contraction or the pain from the contraction. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but most of these things I'm telling you that you can be doing is really just to help you to distract yourself from the contractions. Okay, number 5 is breathe. So it kind of goes with meditation, but it's like way different in my mind. So breathing for me was like a contraction would start to come and I could feel it, and I would like breathe in through my nose, count to 4, and breathe out and count to 4. Actually, Bridget Tyler, I've linked her in a bunch of videos before, but she has an amazing breathing video. Go ahead and watch that. That helped me so much. And what also helped me was as like I had a contraction coming, I would kind of like hold on to my husband like this, like we kind of like I could sway like back and forth like this, and so he would like start telling me, relax your shoulders, you know, relax your hips, relax your body, relax your arms. Like he would just be reminding me to relax everything, and that really helped. So just the breathing and the relaxing is, I think, super helpful to distract yourself from the pain. Number 6, try taking a shower. I feel like the shower was what helped me to progress because I was able to really feel those contractions and get through them because they were super painful at this point. So kind of helping me to work through those strong sensations. So definitely try the shower. I think I went in it right at the right time because I just feel like when I was going through the contractions, they really weren't like that bad when I was in the shower. But then like before that, I can remember feeling like, gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this much longer. I think I'm gonna need to get an epidural. So anyway, I would just kind of save the shower until you really feel like you need it. Okay, number 7, counter pressure. This we kind of tried towards the end, but I think I was just too far into transition to where it just didn't really work. But like counter pressure is like kind of where like your spouse will like push on your back. Like it was kind of like, I don't know if you can see my arms, kind of like in this area, and like kind of just like push while you're having a contraction. That can be super helpful. Number 8 is light, soft massage. And so something that felt really good during labor is like my husband would just go like this and like just rub my arms, and it felt so good. We actually practiced this before we even went into labor. So while I was pregnant at night, he would just kind of like run his fingers over me. And what's funny is that when we first started doing it, I like kind of had to coach him as to like what felt good and what didn't. And so then like when labor happened, whatever he was doing felt really, really good, and it did help distract me. I have heard, and I think I read this in a hypnobirthing book, that the soft touch like that, it helps you to produce like that oxytocin, and basically that will help labor to move along. So that is something that you can also be doing. Okay, next thing is visualization. So when I'm talking about visualization, I want you to visualize what it's going to be like to hold your baby and to love on your baby and to like just be there once your baby is out and like you're holding and they're there. Like it's the most amazing thing to see your little one. So that was something that kept me going, was just visualizing and thinking about what it was going to be like to finally hold my baby. All right, number 10, this too shall pass. Basically, this phrase over and over and over. So basically knowing that this pain is temporary, this uncomfortableness is temporary, but it's going to get better because it's going to go away eventually because I'm going to give birth. This cannot last forever. That was super helpful. And I just want to like reiterate that I truly believe that like when our bodies are able to relax, it's able to make labor move along a little faster. And I think that's why my labor really wasn't that bad. Okay, last thing is to think of your contractions in waves. So instead of thinking of it as, oh gosh, here comes the contraction. Oh, this is really painful. Think about it in a wave. So it kind of like comes up and then it goes back down. And then it comes back up and then it comes back down. And so you just kind of like visualizing that. And that was super helpful for me because when a contraction would come, I'd think, okay, it's coming up. Oh, it's at its peak. Okay, well, now we're on our way down. and that was super helpful. So these are all the things that you can be doing during labor to help just distract yourself, to help ease the pain, regardless if you're trying to have a natural birth or if you want an epidural or you're just not sure. All these tips and techniques will definitely help you to enjoy your labor. Alrighty, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you have any questions or maybe you have tips on how you got through your labor, make sure that you comment that below. Now, every single Wednesday, I come out with a brand new video, and if you would like to see more of these, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Alrighty, y'all, I'll see you next week.